All right, so we're on Reddit. We're going to look at what are the most underrated SEO tips that actually brought real results or traffic. And as I said, this was posted on Reddit 9 days ago. There are some actually pretty decent insights in there. So I'm going to copy and paste a few. And then later on, I'm going to implement some of them in my own website. That's seoturtle.com. And we're going to see if we can see any changes. I actually use my SEO agency website to test theories and different things. So I've tanked the traffic and I've recovered the traffic, and I've been at a standpoint where the traffic and impressions have not improved. But I did manage to successfully rank in one AI overview for a specific keyword using a tool, which was cool. I've also implemented some products on my site just to see if I can get in product snippets, which seem to have worked as well. Anyway, let's get into this. So I've had a look. This is the top one so far. Posting photos in my niche to platforms like Unsplash or Pexels, and then asking people that use them to add a link to my website. That could be good for backlinks. I haven't tried that. I might give it a go, but to be honest, that sounds like quite a bit of work. Like you have to set up a Pixels Unsplash account, upload the photo, have to do SEO on those photos to make people find them, and then when they find them, you have to monitor who's using them. All right, not a top one for me. Let's check this one. Writing guide to finding the best insert type of business here has done pretty good to get us featured. I did this recently, except I didn't use guide. I did top or best. So for example, best SEO agencies in specific city. I listed a few which I have websites for, and it seemed to rank better in ChatGPT. So that is a pretty good tip. But again, it's quite common knowledge. I'd say that one, not the best. This one, ignoring the 60 character limit, BS for BS by SEO Pub, for title tags and writing title tags at 150, 250 characters instead. This is an interesting one. I'm usually a sucker for the 65 character limit because I don't want truncation in the SERPs. And there is still truncation in the SERPs, even though SEO Pub seems to think there isn't. I know because I've looked at my own site titles and I see they get truncated. SEO Pub says it won't be truncated most of the time, though you rarely see truncated results because Google picks their own, which is kind of true. So the way the SEO Pub is doing this 250 character title is by making 3 titles and separating them by a dash. All right, so you come up with 2 to 3 titles that are relevant to the search intent of the page, use a variety of keywords and titles, and then Google will likely pick one of those. They seem to think it increases search impressions and maybe clicks by 20% plus, which is an interesting one. So for this one, I'm going to screenshot it because I like that idea. Let's put that here for now and let's continue. Okay, we've seen that. Internal links, especially links to other pages in the middle of a paragraph. This is 100%. I do this a lot. Actually, when I rebuilt my website, I accidentally kind of removed all the links in paragraphs, and I need to go back and add them all in because they were huge drivers. When I removed them, I saw my impressions went from like 5,000 a day to 900 a day. I tried adding them back on one page, and that particular page did in fact increase in impressions. Clicks still lagging though, so let's get back to that. That's a good one. Grab queries from Search Console and then add these queries and answers verbatim at the bottom of the relevant pages. Probably, this is a good one, but I wouldn't add the queries verbatim. In fact, what I would do is grab all the queries, and depending on how you built your site, most people are now switching to, Next.js and Claude code to build websites because building a site with AI and then adding content is so much easier than going into WordPress and adding content into the blocks. It takes ages. Albeit that gives you a lot of AI written content in your site, but you have a Next.js site that you can then incorporate chatbots into. You can incorporate fluid contact forms that takes the user on a journey. It gets the name, it becomes dynamic, it leads them on a little journey. Check out my SEO Turtle free SEO review contact form to learn what I'm talking about, because it helps close clients faster if you ask them a few questions. They're more likely to continue to the end and add their contact details. So yeah, that's a good one. Did I add it? Yes. So what I would do here is I would grab all the queries on Search Console and ask either Claude or ChatGPT 5 or Gemini to assess your page and see where you can add these organically, and then create new content around the keywords. Just add them into the page. This has helped, certainly. Okay, editing image file names to include keyword 1, keyword 2. Super easy way to rank in the image search. Now, this is another important one actually, and I'm going to screenshot this because that is quite underrated. The image search is highly valid. I removed all the images from my site, from a site I was testing, not intentionally, but then kind of purposefully as well. So in the middle, as I was rebuilding, and I noticed impressions tanked. And it's important to actually have relevant images in your text, not only for the like user benefits that it breaks text, they can stop for a second and read the infographic or whatever, but also for image search, because people are still searching images on Google, and it just covers a whole nother category of search to have images. All right, this one as well, updating old content and changing the year in the SEO title to the current one. I'm going to expand on this one a bit because this is super underrated. And if you do this right, I'm working with a lot of SEO consultants myself at the moment in an agency, and we're all throwing ideas around. One of the ideas was to actually go back and set 5 blog posts from maybe 2024 to 2025 and today's date. So the date today is 11th of August. You set 5 blog posts to today's date. You add a new paragraph in each blog post, and then you publish it again. These blog posts will come to the top of your blog post page, and they will be like new. And Google loves new content. Fresh content on existing age URLs is like tenfold better. I noticed a huge spike in impressions for a few days, and then it kind of petered out a bit, but the spike did exist, so maybe the content was the problem in the end. Too long. Okay, and this one, definitely super important, and I've learned this myself. The problem with AI is we're becoming very reliant on it, to write our content, to structure everything, to like even content writers now, if you find someone who's an expert in the field, they are using ChatGPT. So they're forgetting the human touch. Yes, ChatGPT can write for humans and some of it can be well read, but most of, like 9 times out of 10, you can tell it's just pure AI content. And I am guilty of that as well. Even on my site, I've tried tone of voice documents and things like that, or UGC related or Reddit style posts, and it makes a difference, but still 9 times out of 10, you can tell it's pure AI. So that's the whole point of SEO. Google wants to see that you are spending time, writing stuff for the user rather than just search engines and rather than just mass churning out content with AI. So I would say spend some time, try one blog post where you just spend some time writing it, and write something that you would also enjoy reading, and just see how that ranks better, because the likelihood is it will rank much better. So yeah, those are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top 6 choices for tips that I would try. And in the next video, I think I'm going to try implementing them live with Claude Code on my SEO agency website. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you then. Peace.